Since Repair Clinic encourages you to perform this procedure safely, a warning icon will appear when you should use caution. Many electric range repairs will require some disassembly of the appliance. Before you attempt this, be sure to unplug the power cord or shut off the power supply. To access control panel components, have an assistant help you to move the range away from the wall. Use a 1/4-inch socket or nut driver to unthread the screws to release the upper rear access panel to reach the element switches, indicator lights, and the clock control. If you need to replace a surface element switch, note the orientation of the wire connectors, then disconnect them. Pull off the control knob and use a Phillips head screwdriver to unthread the 2 mounting screws to release the old switch. Install the new switch by aligning it in the control panel, then thread the screws to secure. Realign the control knob on the switch stem. Connect the wire connectors to the appropriate terminals. To reach the oven sensor or the broil and bake element wires, first unthread the bottom screw, securing the lower access panel to the power cord retaining plate. Now unthread the 4 remaining mounting screws, securing the panel. Pull the panel up to remove. If you need to replace the bake element, disconnect the wires from the element terminals. Next, fully open the oven door and rotate both door hinge locks back. Partially close the door, then lift and pull the door toward you to remove. Slide out the oven racks. Use a large flathead screwdriver to unthread the 2 screws, securing the oven's bottom panel. Insert a small screwdriver into one of the screw holes to help dislodge the panel, then lift it up from the rear to remove. Using the 1/4-inch socket or nut driver, unthread the 4 bake element mounting screws. With the screws unthreaded, you can fully remove the old element. Install the new bake element by inserting the terminals through the holes in the rear panel. Thread the 4 screws to secure the element to the base of the oven. Reposition the bottom panel by aligning the front edge first. Rethread the 2 screws. Replace the oven racks. Returning to the rear of the appliance, connect the wires to the bake element terminals. Reinstall the lower access panel by aligning the power cord retaining plate with the slots in the panel. Then hook the bottom tabs on the frame. Fully position the panel and thread the 4 side mounting screws. Replace the bottom screw to secure the panel to the power cord retaining plate. Realign the upper access panel by placing the panel tabs behind the lip of the control panel. Thread the screws. To disassemble the oven door, set the door handle side down on a towel or blanket. Using a Phillips head screwdriver, unthread the 4 bottom screws, securing the outer door panel. Next, unthread the 2 upper screws, securing the door handle and the inner panel assembly. Set the handle aside. You can now separate the inner and outer door panels. To disassemble the inner panel assembly, unthread the 4 screws securing the 2 door hinges. Set the hinges aside. Unthread the spacers from the upper screws and fully remove the screws. Now unthread the screws to release the left and right side trim pieces. Unthread the 8 screws securing the retaining panel. Remove the panel to reach the middle door glass and frame, as well as the inner door glass. Reassemble the inner door assembly by first repositioning the inner door glass. Realign the middle door glass and frame. Reinstall the retaining panel by aligning the bottom edge first. Thread the 8 screws to secure. Reinstall the left and right side trim pieces. Reinsert the upper screws through the panel and thread on the spacers. Align the hinges with the inner panel and rethread the screws. You can now join the inner door assembly and the outer door panel together. Realign the handle and fully thread the upper screws to secure it. Replace the 4 bottom screws. Reinstall the oven door by inserting the door hinges into the hinge slots at a 45-degree angle. Lower the door to its fully open position, then rotate the hinge locks forward. To access components under the main top, Use a Phillips head screwdriver to unthread the two screws, securing the front edge. Pull the main top forward and have an assistant hold it as you place a towel or blanket underneath. Support the main top. If you need to replace a surface element, unthread the screws, securing the appropriate support brace. Gently rest the surface elements and brace on the towel or blanket. Then notate which slots the surface element retaining clips are inserted into. Use pliers to depress the tabs to release the retaining clips from the brace. Note the orientation of the element wires, then disconnect them. Prepare the new surface element for installation by transferring the retaining clips from the old element to the new one. Use the numbers engraved on the base to position the clips in the proper locations. Connect the wires to the appropriate terminals. Insert the retaining clips into the appropriate slots in the support brace. Realign the support brace on the main top and thread the screws to secure. Reinstall the main top by removing the support along with the towel or blanket. Then insert the rear mounting clips into the support panel slots. Align the rear edges of the main top under the frame clips. Then thread and tighten the front screws. With the reassembly complete, plug the power cord back in or restore the power supply, and your electric range should be ready for use.